They go to Bernie Sanders' office, and one of the things they were doing was holding up signs of Bernie Sanders' own quotes, things Bernie Sanders had said demanding peace at some point. I think they said it was from 2020, but holding up posters of his own quotes. And they had said, because I was still there for this part, they had said, now when we go into Bernie Sanders' office, and Code Pink's been in a million senators and Congress people's offices, they go, when we go in there, if you choose to be arrested, then that could happen. The police will give you a warning. They will say, if you don't leave, we're going to arrest you. But, and this is what Medea said, she said, but every time we're in there, the senator has to request for us to leave and then request police to come and take us out. And she said, it's unlikely Bernie will do that because Bernie Sanders, Medea believed, would not want peace activists arrested in his office. It's not a good look, right? It's not a good look for Bernie Sanders, who claims to be somewhat left-wing. I think he still claims that. It's not a good look for him to have peace activists arrested for asking for peace. So here's how that went, which, like I said, I was there for the beginning of this, but I could not stay through the arrests. Here's a video, and this is Jody Evans, who I just showed you on the cover of the New York Times.
Why are you getting arrested, Jody? Why?
Jody is arrested. It says that Bernie is for diplomacy. I'm here to remind him that he knows diplomacy is the right thing. He knows peace is the right thing. We're here to tell him we need peace. He needs to call on Biden to go to the negotiating table. Don't tell us that Putin won't, because the United States isn't. Do it. Do it. Let them fail. You're failing right now. Let them fail. People are dying. This happened, I was here 21 years ago, and they didn't listen. And 6 million people are dead because of the war in Iraq. We have to listen. War kills, weapons kill. We have to stop this war. People are dying, and the people in the United States are paying for it.
Does the people in the United States want a war?
No, the people in the United States do not want a war, and they're paying for it. Not only are they paying for it with their tax dollars, but they're paying for it in the shredding of this literal fabric of society. When we think that weapons are the way, what happens? Then the only way that you can have a discussion, the only way that you can work on differences is with weapons and guns. That's not how it happens. Nothing is solved with weapons and guns. Nothing. Where's the leadership that models sitting down at a table and coming up with some agreements? This has to end. We have to stop the war to World War III.
When he used to say being anti-war. What do we want?
Peace. What do we want now?
So there's Jody Evans and others getting arrested. Apparently, I don't know whether they saw Bernie Sanders, but Bernie Sanders' office had to request, from what I heard, had to request that these people be arrested for demanding peace and demanding he stick by his own quotes. So here is another Code Pinker, Leo, who's an amazing human being as well. And he's getting arrested for holding up a sign of Bernie's own quote.
Thank you, Leo.
Why are you getting arrested?
For holding up a sign, a quote from Bernie Sanders calling for negotiation. Bernie Sanders had me arrested for holding up his own quote.
So there it is. Ultimately, I believe it was 11 peace activists arrested in Bernie Sanders' office yesterday. And, you know, this is how sad it's gotten. As people holding up Bernie's own quotes. And, you know, most of you know that Bernie Sanders is not left wing anymore. I mean, he may have used to have been, but but he's still one of the quote unquote most left wing in Congress. That's how pathetic our Congress is, that he's considered now in a normal adult nation with logical brains, he would be considered a centrist at best. But instead, you have somebody supporting F-35s and sending cluster bombs to kill children. You have that considered left wing in our country, which is just pathetic. And to loop this back to the goal of the New York Times hit piece that attacked all these groups, underneath, now it's not there anymore, so either it's just not showing up for me or maybe they removed it. But initially, when these videos were put up on Twitter, underneath the videos, it said, you've seen those things that say readers added context. And it said readers added context. And it said Code Pink is a government-funded organization connected to the Chinese government, which is bullshit. But that was the goal of New York Times, is to have things like Code Pink. They can't even put out their videos anymore without it being plastered across it that it's Chinese government propaganda. That if you stand for actual peace, then you're supporting China in some way. I mean, that is, New York Times must be high-fiving when they see that shit. But yes, so there it is. I wanted to bring those videos to you to see what's going on in our Congress as people demand peace, and we have them arrested. All of those 11 who were arrested are now out of prison, luckily, out of jail, but I don't know how much they owe in fines or what kind of situation that will be.